they asked me when I first got there if I wanted to get the epidural, if I wanted to have it natural. In my heart of hearts, I wanted to have a natural birth, but I was like, if I can't take it, sis, I'm gonna get this epidural. Like, I'm not trying to be Superwoman. Whatever happens, happens. All right, are y'all ready for this crazy labor and delivery story? It's so crazy, like I couldn't even make this up. So let's just jump into it. Okay, so boom, I had a COVID baby, like right at the peak of the COVID-19 situation. All right, your girl was due technically May 20th, but my son came in an entire month early, almost. April 24th was the day I actually had him, but I went into labor on April 23rd. I was literally turning 9 months on April 20th, like the day that I turned 9 months. I went into labor. So right as everything started to pick up in 2020, only his dad was able to go into the labor and delivery room with me. I was super upset because I wanted my mom there. But in hindsight, I'm so grateful that she didn't end up being there, because I actually ended up having my son 100% natural. And if you heard my screams when I was pushing, it sounded like I was gonna die, and my mom is not built like that, okay? So it would have been like, somebody get my baby something, like she's dying. But his dad was there. He was a great help. He was there holding my hand, walking me through it, rubbing my back. I'm so appreciative of him. So let's talk about that day. By this time, my job had decided to go into working from home. So we working from home. I was super stressed out because I am the marketing department at my job. I had a lot of things that I needed to get done, and I was just like up to here with the stress of trying to knock everything out before I went on maternity leave. So roll around to the end of that day. At the end of the work day, I sent an email to my supervising attorney, and I'm like, sis, can we talk? Because your girl is stressed out. I'm trying to meet these deadlines, and like people are not responding to me the way that I need them to respond. And she's like, yeah, sure, we can talk tomorrow. It's a Thursday. So I'm like, okay, cool. So I am chilling. I go take a shower. It's nighttime. I'm cleaning my house, like literally deep cleaning my house, because being at home, like working from home, you had nothing better to do in your free time because there was no commute. There was no getting ready for work. So there was a lot of time that I had available to myself to just do things. So I'm like deep cleaning my house. I'm taking stuff out of closets, taking everything, I'm nesting, I guess you can say. My house looks a plum fool, y'all. And so I get tired, and I'm like, I'm gonna go get in the shower. I go get in the shower, and then I come back and I lay down and I'm watching Museum Heist on my laptop. Not even on the TV, like literally on my laptop. Just living my best life. This is a little bit graphic, but this is the best way that I can explain how it felt when my water broke. So ladies, you know when you get like an air bubble in between your legs, like right there, you know. So that's what it felt like. So I'm laying down watching Museum Heist, minding my business, and I feel a little air bubble. So I go to lift my leg up just to like let the air bubble out. I know, sorry. But just to let the air bubble out, and out flows like a river of water. And I'm like, oh my gosh. Water is just rushing out of me, and I hop up immediately, and I'm just standing there. So when my water broke, I don't know if it's just me being ignorant, but your girl did not know that once your water breaks, it continues to flow. I thought it was like your water breaks a little bit, like the water comes out and then you're good, like until you have to start pushing and stuff like that. If you're like me, sis, your water breaks and you'll be leaking until you start to push. And I didn't know that. So when my water broke, I'm like going to the bathroom to try to push the water out of me, to think that, okay, I can kind of just like pee it out, you know? So I sit on the toilet for a while. I'm thinking that it's done, and it kind of stops, and I get up, and then another river of water comes flowing out of me, and I'm freaking out. Thankfully, I had just went to the doctor that morning, and my doctor basically told me like what to do when I went into labor. So grateful, because I would have been lost otherwise. So I called the hospital to let them know that I was coming and that I was in labor. But mind y'all, I had nothing packed, because again, I had just hit 9 months this day. And I was planning to pack my bags that weekend, but so I'm talking to the lady and I'm like, can I pack my bags? And she's like, are you contracting? I'm like, I don't think so. I don't feel anything. Literally nothing. I didn't feel anything. So she's like, well, if you're fine, you have time to pack your bags. I had a list already prepared thanks to YouTube gurus. And if you want that list, let me know. I can do a video on it, or I can just send it to you personally. I had a list for me and baby. And so I get the list and I start packing my bag. At the same time, I'm calling his dad, like Bryson's dad, to say, hey, my water broke. Now, if you know, then you know, my child's father does not live with me. So I'm at home by myself. But by this point, I've given him a key because I knew that it was going to be time soon for me to go and have this baby. So I wanted him to have access to me if in the case I couldn't get up and get to the door or whatever like that. So I call him and he doesn't answer the phone initially. And then I text him, 911, my water broke. He is frantic. He calls me, what the heck? You're a whole month early. It's not supposed to be time. Oh my goodness. He's like, I'm on my way. He doesn't stay far at this point. He's like only about 7 minutes away from my house. So he comes and he like busts in like he's Superman. I wish y'all could have saw it. It was like, what? Hey, what's happening? Are you okay? So as Bryson's dad busts into my house, I literally have on nothing but this diaper. I am so grateful to the YouTube gurus for suggesting the Always Discreet Boutique Depends, like the little diaper thingies, because I had just ordered them for my postpartum situation. But y'all, that was the only thing that kept me from messing up my car on the way to the hospital. So I'm like, yeah. He's like, why are you packing a bag? Because at this point I'm packing a bag. I'm like, well, I had nothing. Nothing was ready, so I gotta pack a bag. He's like, girl, come on, like we need to get to the hospital. I'm like, I'm fine. The lady said if I'm not like feeling my contractions, then I'm fine. And I wasn't feeling anything at the time. At this point, this man is convinced that I'm like faking it. Like, you can't be in labor because you're too calm. Y'all, when I say I was super calm, on the way to the hospital, I am FaceTiming my friends. Like, we're on group FaceTime. I'm talking, I'm laughing, joking. He's like, there is no way that you were actually in labor. But I was, because my word broke. I was actually vlogging some of it, but things happened so fast toward the end, I will get to that I didn't have the opportunity to vlog the whole thing. So I'm not going to really upload the vlog unless that's something y'all want. If it's something y'all want, then I'll upload the videos that I do have, but it's not the juicy stuff. I literally don't have that much. And you can see it on my personal Instagram account. I'll put it right here. But yeah, so we get to the hospital and I'm still on the phone. They finally get me admitted into the back and the lady is like, you don't feel those contractions? I'm like, huh? It's just like, you've been contracting this entire time. Y'all, I felt nothing. And I know that's not everybody's experience, but I was good. Apparently my contractions weren't strong enough because I was only dilated about a fingertip apart when I got to the hospital. And by this time I had probably had been in labor for about, I would say at least an hour, maybe an hour and a half. And so they, of course, admit me into the room because my water broke. I have to go and have the baby within the next couple of days. And I sleep overnight. I was on FaceTime with my friends until a certain amount of time. My child's father is like losing his mind because he's not convinced that I am in labor because I'm way too calm. On FaceTime with my friends, talking, giggling, hee, and I go to sleep. My water broke probably around like 10-ish, 10:30-ish, and then we got to the hospital, it was 11:30-ish. Anyways, by the time that I went to sleep, it was probably the next morning. And I go to sleep and I wake up the next morning at maybe 7. They're coming, they check your vitals every so often or whatever like that. And so they come in and they're like, well, your doctor wasn't here overnight, but you didn't start, I didn't go into labor overnight. He comes in at 9. I was only about a fingertip dilated at the time. They're like, cool, we're going to put you on Pitocin because we need this baby to come out in the next 48 hours because your water has broken. So they put me on Pitocin, and at this point, my contractions start to get stronger. I get to about, I would say 3 or 4 centimeters, and then I start to feel a little pain, and I'm like, hey, can they give me something for pain? So before they can give me an epidural, they say, well, we have to go through the process of giving you like the pain meds before we can give you the epidural. So they give me pain meds, and it helped a little bit, but the pain was still there. The contractions are getting stronger and stronger by the minute. So at the time that they give me the first pain medicine, the contractions get stronger, and they tell me that I can't get an epidural until I'm 5 centimeters dilated. My nurse checks and I was 4 centimeters dilated. And she's like, we can't do anything until you're 5 centimeters dilated. So I'm like, girl, these contractions are killing me. Can you please give me this epidural? Check again to see if I am dilated 5 centimeters. She's like, I just checked 20 minutes ago. You're not dilated another centimeter by that time. I'll check in a minute, whatever like that. So maybe 2 minutes passed by, and I'm like, sis, I gotta push. Like, this is a different kind of pain. Check again. She's like, I just checked, you were 4 centimeters dilated. She checks, and I am 10 centimeters dilated, y'all. In 20 minutes, I went from 4 centimeters dilated to 10 centimeters dilated, like fully dilated and ready to push. My body was going crazy off the Pitocin. So when the nurse checks me, right? So she checks me, she's like, oh my gosh, somebody call Dr. Brown. That's my doctor's name. She's like, somebody call Dr. Brown. She yells to one of the nurses in the hallway. And so they call him, and he has to rush from the other end of the hospital over to the labor and delivery unit. So they're like, hold on, don't try to push. And my nurse is like, she can't not push. So she's just like, just get the doctor here now. So literally my doctor walks in, and I am like ready to push this baby's head out. And he only has time to take off his watch and put on one glove. He puts on one glove. He catches my son's head. He asked the nurse to take off his watch, and puts on the glove, and he catches my son's head. And then after he catches my son's head, puts on the other glove and proceeds to go ahead with fully delivering my son. They asked me when I first got there if I wanted to get the epidural, if I wanted to have it natural. In my heart of hearts, I wanted to have a natural birth, but I was like, if I can't take it, sis, I'm gonna get this epidural. Like, I'm not trying to be Superwoman. Whatever happens. I ended up having a completely natural birth because at this point it was time to push. I didn't have the time to get the epidural. And crazy thing is, she had actually got approval from my doctor to go ahead and give me the epidural. But by that time, because I was saying that I was in so much pain, he was like, it's fine, just go ahead and give it to her. Because he didn't want it to wear off before it was time for me to push. But everything happened so fast, I didn't get the opportunity to give it. So, woman's body is the most amazing thing. Like, if it's your first time having a kid and you're watching this video, I'm amazed by the fact that my body was literally doing the pushing on its own. Like, I was so terrified to how it would feel and what to do, but it literally just naturally did it. It was literally like something off of a movie. It was a crazy experience. It was a blessing though. My son came out, he was 5 pounds even, and I think he was 18 inches, 5 pounds even, and like 18.5 inches long. So yeah, he wasn't a huge baby. Again, he was about a month early, but he was healthy, and he was super active from the moment that he came out. If you've enjoyed this video, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And of course, if you want to connect with me, hit me up on my personal Instagram account at VBreeRed. Until next video, bye.